You've probably heard the term psychological warfare, but in 1984, Yuri Bezmenov, a KGB defector, sat down in an interview and dropped this nugget. Check this out.
Ideological subversion is the slow process of psychological warfare to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country. It's a great brainwashing process. The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students. The demoralization process in the United States is basically completed already. Most of it is done by Americans to Americans, thanks to lack of moral standards. Exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with information, with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, he will refuse to believe it.
I want to know what you guys think about this. Drop your comment down below.
Shalom family, it's your man Elijah. Thank you for joining me at Unsectarian Wisdom. And as usual, I am a healthy, wise, strong, protected, celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. Family, thank you for joining me today. So just a PSA beforehand, this is going to be probably a long teaching. It's probably going to be a few hours, so you can pause it, come back later. And also very important, don't believe nothing I say. Please don't believe nothing. You could lead yourself to hell. So go do your own research, line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little and there a little. With all that getting, get understanding. Family, I think I'm gonna call this message. So I could be telling a fib right now because I might change it because this is pre-recorded. But I might call this lesson, "Are we truly from Africa or Atlantis?" Because family, look, we've been lied to for a long time, and it is my belief that everything is actually backwards. The stories that we have been told, that we've been taught in school, in history class, even by our own parents, you know, our teachers, have been told from a backwards perspective. Now, I'm not about to prove necessarily. Okay, look, let me put my statement out there. My statement and my belief is that we're not actually from Africa. That the motherland isn't Africa, but the motherland is Atlantis, aka the Americas. Or if not, maybe an island that used to be in the middle of the Atlantic. Now, I'm not necessarily going to prove this to you, but I want to present material to you of why I've come to this belief in my life. And before I keep going, I want to give out shouts out to Brother Karimo, Ahu, and Big Judah, people who have also, and many other content creators who have put out information as far as pertaining to the lost continent or island of Atlantis. So this, or even Billy Carson, is true. I'm not sitting here saying this is original thought form. This belief in me is original because I didn't believe this just because they said it. I believe this because of my own studying, my own meditations, my own seeking the truth. And this is the conclusion that my mind and spirit came through. And these people have really just helped me in my belief as I've gone along this path of trying to figure out where we truly come from. You know, these thoughts and inklings have been in my mind and spirit, you know, for a minute. Not because these individuals that I just gave prop to in the beginning. Well, first off, all props to the Most High Creator who made all of us and made it possible for these individuals to come forth and be able to provide this information. Also below, reading materials that I go through during this video, I will be putting them in the comment in the information box below. So if you want to go read this stuff and study your own, you know, you can do that. So I'll be providing that. So, but like I said, like I digress. So back to the main point, family. Look, everything I'm presenting to you is, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's 100% fact, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm about to prove my point 100%. That's up to you to do the research yourself after this, to take the research materials I'm about to give you and the information that we about to go through, and do your own research. You don't have to believe me. You know, look, I understand, you know, some people motherland all day, but I know my people have been spread out to the 4 corners of the earth. So we wasn't just in one place. And once again, we've been lied to so much. And I want to get out of the lie. I don't want to be lied to no more. I want the 100% truth, no matter what it is. And that's what we looking for today, family. So let's go ahead and jump in. Like I said, it's gonna be a long video. So later on, if you wanna if you wanna pause, come back later on, do what you gotta do. And like I said, don't believe nothing I say, but do your own research. So family, we gonna start off with the Emerald Tablets, right? This is what we gonna start off with. Of Thoth the Atlantean. And we gonna jump to, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen. We jump into page 20, and we're going to read page 20 and 21, and we also going to be reading page 52 and 53. Oh, I got videos I want to show through here too, so it's not just going to be reading and pictures, but near the end it's going to be a lot of reading, family, so just let y'all know. But right now in the beginning we're going to go through more pictures and well, no, it's going to be pictures and just follow me, family. Let's go ahead and jump in. So we starting off at page 20. All right, let's go. The thoughts of the Atlanteans turned downward into the darkness, until at last the dweller arose in wrath from his detachment. Hold on, let me start that over, family. The thoughts of the Atlanteans turned downward into the darkness, until at last the dweller arose in wrath from his detachment, speaking the word, calling upon the power. Deep in earth's heart, the sons of Amenti heard, and hearing, directed the changing of the flower of fire that burns eternally, changing and shifting, using the logos until the great fire changed its direction. Then the great waters broke over the world, drowning and sinking all, changing earth's balance, until only the temple of light was left standing on the great mountain of Undal, yet rising out of the water. Some then living were saved from the rush of the fountains. The master then called to me, saying, Gather my people together, by the arts ye have learned. Take them far across the waters until ye reach the land of the hairy barbarians dwelling in caves of the desert. Follow there the plan that ye know of. So I gathered my people and entered the great ship of the master. Upward we rose into the morning. Dark beneath us lay the great temple suddenly. The waters rose over it, and the great temple vanished from earth until the time appointed. Fast we fled toward the sun of the morning, until beneath us lay the land of the children of Kim. Raging, they came at us with cudgels and spears, lifted in anger, seeking to slay and utterly destroy the sons of Atlantis. But I raised my staff. And directed a ray of vibration, striking them still in their tracks, as if fragments of stone. Then I spoke to them in words calm and peaceful, telling them of the might of Atlantis, saying we were children of the sun and its messengers. I cowed them with my display of magic science, and when I released them, they groveled at my feet. Long we dwelt in the land of Kim, long and yet long again, until obeying the commands of the master, who while sleeping yet lives eternally. I sent the sons of Atlantis from me in many directions, that from the womb of time wisdom might rise again in her children. Long I dwelt in the land of Kim, doing great works by the wisdom within me. The children of Kim grew upward. The children of Kim grew upward into the light of knowledge, watered by the rains of my wisdom. Then I blasted a path to Amenti, so that I might retain my powers, living from age to age a son of Atlantis, keeping the wisdom, preserving the records. Great grew the sons of Kim, conquering the people around them, growing slowly upwards in soul force. Now for a time I go from among them into the dark halls of Amenti, before the lords of the powers, deep in the halls of the earth, face to face once again with the dweller. High over the entrance I raised a doorway, a gateway leading down to Amenti. Alright family, let's go back. I just want to read it through real quick, because I know a lot of stopping, but let's go through. And family, I want you to really pay attention to the things I say, pay attention to the things I just read, and try to remember these things as we go through, because they're going to come up again. There's important plot points here, things we need to understand. So I'm going to start over again. The The thoughts of the Atlanteans turned downward into the darkness until at last the dweller arose in wrath from his detachment, speaking the word, calling upon the power. Deep in Earth's heart, the sons of Amenti heard, and hearing directed the changing of the flower of fire that burns eternally. Family, the flower of fire that burns eternally, they're referring to your soul. It burns eternally. Changing and shifting, using the logos until the great fire changed its direction. In other words, family, they were doing experiments that were messing with the soul, and they did something. I don't know if it has to do with just genetics, with DNA and messing with the avatars, or if they were actually able to affect the soul in some way. But basically, that's what the flower of fire is referring to. Then the great waters broke over the world, drowning and sinking all, changing Earth's balance until only the temple of light was left standing on the great mountain of Undal, yet rising out of the water. Some then living were saved from the rush of the fountains. Hold on, let me read this again. The great waters broke over the world, drowning and sinking all, changing Earth's balance until only the temple of light was left standing on the great mountain of Undal, yet rising out of the water. So what's the great temple, right? The master then called to me saying, gather my people together by the arts ye have learned. Take them far across the waters until ye reach the land of the hairy barbarians dwelling in caves of the desert. Follow their plan that ye know of. So what did he say? Let me read that again. Gather the people together by the arts ye have learned. Take them far across the waters until ye reach the land of the hairy barbarians dwelling in caves of the desert. So remember, he said he's basically telling them to get in the ship, and they're going across the waters. They're not going to outer space. They're not going to another realm, another planet. Well, I guess in some way you could say they're going to another realm, but they're not leaving the earth. They're not going into outer space like I've said before, which is what we've been taught is Star Wars and Star Trek. That stuff is a lie, family. Whether you believe it or not, it's a lie. Or at least I know. So if you want to keep believing that that the earth is revolving around one sun, and we traveling through space at 1,000 miles an hour, and all the stars just happen to stay the same and never change, even though we're changing position on a regular, and we're, hey, that's you. We're traveling through space at 10,000 miles an hour, and we're spinning at 100 to 1,000 miles an hour of the Earth's rotation. Look, and we don't feel none of it or really see the change. Hey, anyway, if you really think about it, family, it's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, but let's keep going. I'm not here to put people down. We just talking. Look, you know how, like I said, don't believe what I say. Do your own research. Take some time to study, meditate, and all that, and do whatever. And also take note of the barbarians, family. There's a difference. So what's the difference? Why are they barbarians? What's the difference between Thoth and his people and the barbarians? And don't just think primitive. Don't just think, because they use spears. Is there another reason why they're called barbarians? Why is there, if Atlantis had all this technology, why are there still barbarians in the land? It's my belief, family, that, and I didn't take this on Billy Carson. Matter of fact, I've actually didn't hear him say this recently. I mean, he probably said it before. I'm not saying I've listened to all his videos, but it's my belief, family, like, everyone's always looking for this one city called Atlantis. When in reality, if Atlantis is more powerful than the nations that we even have today, greater technology, what makes you think they weren't colonizers like our people? Our people, even with just wooden ships, are colonizers. So these people had great technology. Why don't you think they would colonize the rest of the world, especially if the rest of the world were like barbarians with spears and stuff? So I think we make a mistake to keep thinking that Atlantis is in one place, when Atlantis is almost is in a lot more places, if not everywhere. If Atlantis didn't just rule this whole realm. But then I don't know if Atlantis ruled everywhere, because there are tales of the war between the Hyperboreans and the Atlanteans. Was it the Hyperboreans? I forget the name, but there's another race that comes up during the time of Atlantis where there's possibly a war where they had maybe the same amount of technology as the Atlanteans. But I digress. Let me get back to the story. So let's keep reading. So I gathered my people and entered the great ship of the master. Upward we rose into the morning. Dark beneath us lay the great temple. Once again, the temple, the great temple. What does the great temple look like? Suddenly the waters rose over it, and they rose in the morning, aka AM, early morning hours when you go to work. Oh, and the temple, family, remember. Hold on, let me read that again. So I gathered my people and entered the great ship of the master. Upward we rose into the morning. Dark beneath us lay the great temple. Now, my question is, here's two questions I put out there. Was the ship that he was in, was the ship that Thoth and his people entered in, was it a pyramid-shaped ship, right? That's one question. And on top of that, most ships have a dock. Was it docked? Was its docking port, was the port of docking of the ship also a pyramid? Because once again, family, I'm going to bring this up. If you follow me in my teachings, in the Keys of Enoch, the book of knowledge, which mixes religion with science, it doesn't separate the two, it mixes, it gives a deeper understanding. Once again, look, I'm not going to sit here, look, if you follow me in my past teachers, family, because we went through like maybe 25 chapters of this book, and there's like 200 something pages. I did not take the time to go back to find the chapter. And one of the chapters we went through, it spoke about one of the pyramids have many functions, family, but one of the main functions is that the pyramids were starports. And if you don't know what a starport is, a starport is like an airport. So if you want to know where that chapter is, because look, and I would like help too in that, some comment to me and tell me where to find it again, because so I can show you guys the chapter and actually take a picture. But I didn't feel like going, as I was getting all this other information, I didn't feel like going in and reading it. But I'm not lying. Once again, don't take my word. Just go back, look. And if you don't have the book, or if you don't feel like find the PDF and read it, go back and listen to my videos. Eventually, one of the videos we've done in the teachings, back in all my other teachings, you will find that chapter where it spoke about the pyramids being starports, family. It's there. So go find it. And then when you find it, please come back and message me. Or eventually I'll come upon it again. But anyway, so that's two questions right now that I'm presenting before us. What shape was Thoth's ship? And is the temple that, because what did it say? It said, so I gathered my people and entered the great ship of the master. Upward we rose into the morning. Dark beneath us lay the great temple. It said the temple was beneath us. So they rose up straightward into the sky, into the heavens, and the temple was still beneath them. So was the temple actually a pyramid itself, and could Thoth's ship land on it? And once again, I want to give reference to the show Stargate SG-1. Remember Stargate SG-1, the Gua'uld, right? Their pyramid type ships could land on top of the pyramids that were built on top of the earth and land on them perfectly, because they were both pyramids. So it's almost like stacking two pyramids on top of each other. So have that, that image in your mind, right? So anyway, back to the reading. So I gathered my people and entered the great ship of the master. Upward we rose into the morning. Dark beneath us lay the great temple. Suddenly the waters rose over it, and the great temple vanished from earth until the time appointed. Until the time appointed of now, when we're finding a lot of different pyramids around the earth, whether it be in jungles or under the ocean, or maybe they're covered with a lot of shrubbery, right? The time appointed could be now, or maybe in the future, the waters might go a little bit further down. Who knows what's going to happen? Or maybe certain lands will rise back up. Fast we fled toward the sun of the morning, until beneath us lay the land of the children of Kim. Raging they came at us with cudgels and spears, lifted in anger, seeking to slay and utterly destroy the sons of Atlantis. But I raised my staff and directed a ray of vibration, striking them still in their tracks, as if fragments of stone. Then I spoke to them in words calm and peaceful, telling them of the might of Atlantis, saying we were children of the sun and its messengers. I cowed them with my display of magic science, and when I released them, they groveled at my feet. Family, keep in mind here, I want to go through this again, but I raised my staff and directed a ray of vibration, striking them still in their tracks, as if fragments of stone. Remember, who else had a staff? Moses had a staff, family. Yahushua, or so-called Jesus, had a staff. And we've heard things about them being what? Magical beings. Remember, Moses was from Egypt and Yahushua went to Egypt. What did Yahushua do when he went to Egypt? He went to the secret schools. Remember Joseph's wife? She was a priestess of what? Of the secret schools in Egypt, family, where they were taught these things that Thoth taught the children of Kim back in the day, or modern day Egypt, right? Then I spoke to them in words calm and peaceful, telling them of the might of Atlantis, saying we were children of the sun and its messengers, children of the sun, aka children of the Messiah, or children of the Holy Spirit, right? Messengers is another word for angels, bringing the message, right? I cowed them, made them cower before him with my display of magic science. And when I released them, they groveled at my feet. So once again, family, this is why I say when we go back to the Bible, we need to understand the difference between a God and the creator. I'm a God, you're a God. We're all gods, but we are not the creator. But yet we are the creator because we come from the DNA of the creator, which is the spirit. And everything came from the spirit. Everything is made of the spirit. The spirit of who? The Most High Creator. We would not be here if it was not for the spirit of the Most High Creator, which everything is made of. The spirit which brought everything into the physical, right? So, once again, understand the difference between a God and a creator. Remember, family, gods are goods. Gods are goods to be used by the creator to experience this matrix. So, and remember I said before too, think about it, you have barbarians and Atlantean. Barbarians who are just throwing spears, right? And they're not technologically advanced at all. They don't have much wisdom in the craft of magic science. So when they see Thoth doing these things, what might they think Thoth is? They might think Thoth is a god, which he is, but not a god in the sense of where it's normal, where like how we say you're a human, I'm human. So in other words, interchange that term with God and say, hey, what's up, God? What's up? We all gods. It's nothing new. To them, a god is like the creator, a benevolent being. So when they see him do what he does, because they don't have that power or understanding, what might they think? They might think he's an angel, or the creator come down from the heavens, or just the creator basically making himself visible, or herself, or neither male or female, but just the creator making itself visible and known within this physical realm. The creator physically manifesting itself before their eyes. So they sit there and start bowing at it because of the technology that Thoth has. So just get this understanding, family. So that's once again, this is what we've been talking about. That's the difference between a god and a creator. Because think about this. If Thoth is really a god in the manner or understanding of a god being a creator, why would Thoth not be able to stop the floods? Why would Thoth have to go to a barbaric land? You know what I'm saying? If Thoth really had the power of the creator, and remember too, family, in some books, Thoth is actually Enoch. There are some stories where they tell the story of Thoth in Atlantis is actually the story of Enoch in the city of Enoch's followers, who the creator spared from the flood because they were righteous and followed the laws of the creator, right? So keep that in mind. The great waters broke. Okay, so let's go back to the teaching, right? Okay. Long we dwelt in the land of Kim, long and yet long again, until obeying the commands of the Master, who while sleeping yet lives eternally. In other words, family, we talk about avatars, which he's going to touch on again in a second. When he says while sleeping yet eternally, he means his master's flesh is gone, but his spirit is eternal. Remember, we're talking about that flower of fire, which is eternal. We're talking about his soul. So the master isn't really quote unquote dead or deleted, just no longer in his fleshly body, which is probably destroyed, obviously destroyed in the flood or wherever it is. I sent the sons of Atlantis from me in many directions. Remember that too. where he says, I sent the sons of Atlantis from me in many directions, that from the womb of time wisdom might rise again in her children. Long I dwelt in the land of Kim, doing great works by the wisdom within me. The children of Kim grew upward into the light of knowledge, watered by the rains of my wisdom. And we spoke about it before, family. Water, when you read stuff like this, esoterically, water is used to represent wisdom at times. Not just water, but wisdom itself. Because remember in the Bible, what does it say? In the beginning, the spirit of the Most High hovered over the waters of the deep. The water, to me, is a physical manifestation of the spirit, which is aka the creator. The body of the creator is, in the physical realm, water or air, in a manner of speaking. Then I blasted a path. Then I blasted a path to Amenti, so that I might retain my powers, living from age to age, a son of Atlantis, keeping the wisdom, preserving the records. Great grew the sons of Kim, conquering the people around them, growing slowly upward into soul force. Now for a time I go from among them into the dark halls of Amenti, before the lords of the powers, deep in the halls of earth, face to face once again with the dweller. High over the entrance I raised a doorway, a gateway leading down to Amenti. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, this right. Then I blasted a path to Amenti, so that I might retain my powers, living from age to age, a son of Atlantis. In other words, family, maybe he went back to Atlantis, and it was buried in the water, got the information he needed to build himself more avatars, so he can transfer his soul into other bodies and continue to live on and live on. Or the power of regeneration. That's what he was talking about right there. So we done there. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on finally. After 27 minutes, like I said, it's gonna be a time consumer, family. To page 52. Oh, and before we go there, family, keep in mind. So this is why I'm trying to paint this picture of why I believe we didn't all necessarily come from Africa. That life didn't actually start in Africa, and that's just what we're told. That it actually started in the Americas, and if not the Americas, an island that used to be here. So I no longer believe everyone came from Africa. I don't believe that. So pay attention to the things that I'm reading, family. And this ain't to put Africans down or take away from this or be like, or try to take away from the narrative. Anyway, we're not gonna get into all that. Just follow what I say. You don't have to believe me, but go ahead and take these study points and do your own research. So, okay, 52. And I know we've read these before, but you just read them again. Over all earth we give ye power, free to give or take it away. Gather thee now the sons of Atlantis. Take them and flee to the people of the rock caves. Fly to the land of the children of Kim. Also, oh yeah, family, I wanted to say, look, people have this, like, when you get to, what are they called? Anyway, people who get really into studying Egypt, right? And they turn into a religion. I've always asked myself before, this is why you always have to ask questions. Where did Egypt get their information from? This is what nobody asks. Everyone's always like, everything comes from Egypt. Everything comes from Egypt. But even their own founder is telling you they didn't get it from Egypt. That it came from Atlantis. So all wisdom and power and knowledge doesn't come from Egypt. And especially if it really did, why is Egypt the way it is today? Why is it not still standing if it was so powerful? Because it didn't come from Egypt. It came from Atlantis. Egypt was just those people who just happened to be blessed and chosen to receive that wisdom, which I'm not taking away from them. But this is why I say that narrative, family, they got you, they have us all looking in one direction. In other words, fooling us so we don't look nowhere else. They got us so focused on Egypt that we're not even trying to go past Egypt. I remember for so many years, everybody attributed the beginning of history to Egypt. But nobody took the time to ask, well, where did Egypt get their information from? Or if they could have possibly gotten it from somebody else. And this ain't no hate on Egypt or Africa or even people follow. There's no hate on any religion. You know what I mean? I don't believe in no religion. But I just want the truth. And from my research, the truth is, I'm no longer going around talking about Africa, Egypt, and all this, because I know all the wisdom didn't just come from Africa and Egypt. At least for me. You can do your own research. Alright, go back. 52. Over all earth we give ye power, free to give or take it away. Gather thee now the sons of Atlantis. Take them and flee to the people of the rock caves. Fly to the land of the children of Kim. Then I gathered the sons of Atlantis. Into the spaceship I brought all my records. Brought the records of sunken Atlantis. I gathered all of my powers and many instruments of mighty magic. Then up we rose on wings of the morning. High we rose above the temple, leaving the three and the dweller behind, deep in the halls, neath the temple, closing the pathway to the lords of the cycles. Yet ever to him who has knowing shall be opened the path of Amenti. Fast we fled on the wings of the morning, fled to the land of the children of Kim. There by my power I conquered and ruled them. I raised to light the children of Kim. Deep neath the rocks I buried my spaceship, waiting the time when man might be free. Over the spaceship I erected a marker, in the form of a lion, yet like unto man. In the form of a lion, yet, over the spaceship I erected a marker, in the form of a lion, yet like unto man. There neath the image rests yet my spaceship, forth to be brought when need shall arise. O man, know that far in the future invaders shall come from out of the deep. Awaken then, you know. Awaken then. Hold on, my bad. Let me keep going. O man, know that far in the future invaders shall come from out of the deep. Awaken then, you have wisdom. Awaken then, you who have wisdom. Bring forth my ship and conquer with ease. Deep neath the image lies my secret. Search and find in the pyramid I built. Each to the other is the keystone. Each is the gateway that leads into life. Follow the key I leave behind me. Seek, and the doorway to life shall be yours. Seek in my pyramid deep in the passage that ends in a wall. Use the key of the seven, and the pathway will fall open to you. Now unto you I have given my wisdom. Now unto you I have given my way. Follow the pathway. Solve my secrets until I have shown the way. I'm curious, fam, where it says use the key of the seven, and the pathway will fall open to you. Is the key maybe when it says the key of the seven? And it's just a thought I had right now. Could it possibly be referring to the seven continents? And like the Bible talks about, the Most High spreads his people to the four corners of the earth, and they're everywhere, right? So maybe, and remember Thoth said that his people of Atlantis went forth over the whole earth to spread wisdom. So maybe the seven keys are just another, is a way of saying the wisdom is everywhere. So in every land there's a key that will lead to the truth of Atlantis, if that makes sense. So if you travel from Africa to Europe, you can find other stories. Like there are many different stories there are many different civilizations, family, who have a story of a deluge or the flood, right? So as you travel to these different lands and get their portion of the story, or whatever records they have, or whatever wisdom they've learned, maybe it's all like a big puzzle. And once you put it all together, it'll finally lead you to Atlantis and wherever it's buried right now, or wherever you can get access to. Also, I know I mentioned earlier that Atlantis has many colonies, but to the main city of Atlantis, I would say the capital, right? So maybe that's what it meant. So by the seven keys, maybe that's what it meant. Seven keys is just a way of saying that there's wisdom spread throughout the seven continents that will lead you to the gateway of the sunken city of Atlantis. Now unto you I have given, okay, let me read that again. O man, just one more time, then we can move on. O man, know that far in the future invaders shall come from out of the deep. Awaken then, you who have wisdom. Bring forth my ship and conquer with ease. Deep neath the image lies my secret. Search and find in the pyramid I built. Each to the other is the keystone. Each is the gateway that leads into life. Follow the key I leave behind me. Seek, and the doorway to life shall be yours. Seek in my pyramid deep in the passage that ends in a wall. Use the key of the 7, and the pathway will fall open to you. Now unto you I have given my wisdom. Now unto you I have given my way. Follow the pathway, follow my secrets. Unto you I have shown the way. You see where it says there, family, follow the key I leave behind me. Seek, and the doorway to life shall be yours. What's the Bible say? Knock and keep on knocking. You know, knock and the answer will be given to you eventually, right? Knock and keep on knocking, right? Isn't that what the Bible says? Deep neath the image lies my secret. Search and find in the pyramid I built. Each to the other is the keystone. Each is the gateway that leads into life. So family, also, when it says deep neath the image lies my secret. Search and find in the pyramid I built. Each to the other is the keystone. Remember how I told you earlier, family, when it said that, when I just thought right now, we just thought about together, that maybe when he says the keys, what did he say? What did he say? He said, the wisdom. Awaken then, you have wisdom. Bring forth my, hold on. Deep neath the, basically, remember I was saying earlier how the keys to unlock. Oh yeah. Now unto you I have given my wisdom. Now unto you I have given my way. Follow the pathway. Solve my secrets. Hold on, no, that's not it. Oh yeah. Use the 7 keys of the 7, and the pathway will follow open to you. So in other words, family, remember there are multiple pyramids around the earth. Not only in Africa, but in Europe, in Asia, in North and South America, there are pyramids. So maybe each one of these pyramids, or maybe certain pyramids, at least one on each continent, has a key, is a key and a clue, and has the wisdom written on its walls underneath, on this, wherever, that all lead to Atlantis. And you need the information from all these different keys. So maybe the buildings themselves, the pyramids themselves, family, are keys, and written on their walls are wisdom that all lead to Atlantis. It's just a thought. But let's keep going. Just a thought. Like I said, I'm not necessarily proving nothing, family. What I'm doing is we just going through, I'm presenting the stuff I've come across, and then you can apply it to your research. But anyway, let's get back to the teaching, family. So I want to show you. Okay, so pay attention to these maps, family. So remember, look on this map. Here's Africa. Here's Atlantis. And here's America. Now, when I look at this map right here, family, I wonder if that might be Cuba, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, or the Bahamas or something. I don't know because the shape and how it looks. But we're trying to put the story together, right? Remember, hold on. What did it say? It said, hold on. So I gathered up my people and entered a great ship of the master. Upward we rose into the morning. Dark beneath us lay the great temple. Suddenly the waters rose over it, and the great temple vanished from earth until the time appointed. Fast we fled toward the sun of the morning, until beneath us lay the land of the children of Kim. So the island sunk, family, and they crossed over the water to Africa. So this would be what? The Atlantic Ocean, Atlanticus, right? And here's America. But what part of America is this? I don't know. I can't really tell from this map. Okay, let's go to the next. Oh, hold on. Yeah, here's the next one. Right? So pay attention to these maps I'm showing you, family. Right? So take a, hold on. Oh, so let me give you zoom in the other one. So, right? Okay, Atlantis sunk. They left Atlantis. There's a temple somewhere. Look where it's at in the water. And there's a reason why I said I wonder if this might be the Bahamas, the Caribbean, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. There's a reason why I wonder about that. Let's go to the next one. So here's another piece of maybe how Atlantis looked. This would be Atlantis right here. And look at its location. Right here, family, you see there's, what is this? Portugal, right? Spain, Portugal area. And here's Africa. So apparently it was here and it sunk. Here's the islands. Here's America. All right, so that's one interpretation. Here's another interpretation. Here's Atlantis. You see right here, here's Florida, family. Here's Cuba, the Bahamas. That's why I wonder on that first map, what are those two islands, right? Because apparently it's saying all these sunk. Look at this area right here where it says they sunk. And then right here too, off the coast of Portugal and Spain, apparently one of their islands was there too. All this is supposed to be Atlantis that sunk. And then here's Africa. Remember, it sunk and they flew to the land of Kim. But look, family, too, also, if this is a accurate map, look how close they were to the Americas. If they had all that power, if they had all the power that they had in technology, do you think they wouldn't have crossed over to South or North America, family? Why wouldn't they have? If they had the power they did, you don't think they ever went here? Especially being as close as they are here. Matter of fact, let's go back to the first map. Look, this is closer than Africa. You don't think they never went over here? Like, come on, family. If they have the power, especially like, remember the Disney movie Atlantis? If they have flying ships, especially he was just saying he had a flying ship. You don't think they never went to go visit these other lands, family? Maybe, especially if they were conquerors and colonizers, you don't think they would ever go to America to look for minerals, mineral deposits, or to see what they can find there to enrich their kingdom even more? It makes no sense to think they only went to. And then how did they know about the land of Kim and the barbarians if they had never been there before? I'm just saying, family. Think about it. All right, this map again. Look how close it is, right? Now here's another map. Look at this map, family. Now I don't know if these are true, but like I said, but we gonna go through as much information as we can find to compare, right? So, or Mu. Okay, yeah, there you go. There's one of those kingdoms that I remember. Mu, yeah, the Mularian. What was it called? Malarians, or I forget what they were called. But the people who went to war with the Atlanteans, right? I forget what they called. My bad, family. I've mentioned them before, but it's been so long since I've mentioned them. So, anyway, but look how close it is. Okay, it's close here to Africa, but also here, Portugal. And there's a reason I'm saying that. But also, look, once again, the islands. Just pay attention, family. Let it be still for a second for y'all to look at it. Look at where it's saying is at. It's saying that this sunk, right? All right, let's go to the next. And here's another page where they're saying it might be Atlantis. Let's keep going. All right, now, thinking of the maps and everything, and then also, family, there's belief that, like I said, Atlantis might have just been, it used to be a part of America, and that or what we call America today, North and South America, that it maybe it wasn't an island, that it was a part of America that broke off and just fell in the sea, or possibly maybe there wasn't even an island of Atlantis, that maybe Atlantis was America itself. And that just a part of America just ended up getting flooded. That's it. Right? And instead of saying America, they went all the way to the other side. Or maybe all of America itself ended up sinking. So, because who knows how long ago this was. Right? This is before Egypt, from our known history, when we say time, right? We usually try to say time began. This could have been hundreds, thousands of years before, Egypt even built its first temple. That all of America could have sunk underwater. And since then, the water levels have fallen and come back. But anyway, let's keep going. So, family, this is an image of some pyramids that were found underwater on the west coast of Cuba. Right? So, get that pictured in. And remember, in the story, it talked about a temple that was covered. Let me read it again. So I gathered my people and entered the great ship of the master. Upward we rose into the morning. Dark beneath us lay the great temple. Suddenly the waters rose over it, and the great temple vanished from earth until the time appointed. The time appointed. Now we know. The Great Temple. Is this the temple? Because remember, family, one of the functions of the pyramids is a temple. Could this be one of the temples? One of the temples or the temple it's talking about? Let's go to the next. Okay, here's another picture of it. You can look this up, family. You can look this up. Temples found off the underwater pyramids found off the west coast of Cuba. You can type it in Google right now. And I don't think I saved the URLs, but I took screenshots from articles I'm going to show y'all. So if I don't have the URL, just, you know, either go to Google and just type in pyramids off the coast of Cuba. It'll come up. It's a popular, this is a popular, what's it called? Anyway, let's keep going. So let's go. Oh, come on, man. What's going on with the, give me a second, family. It shouldn't be looking like this right now. Okay. That's not good. Okay. I'm going to have to do this by, hand. I'm going to have to, well, not hand, but hold on, family. I'm going to have to bring up separate screens, I think. Because it shouldn't be blurry like that. Give me a second, family. Hold on. I guess this one time my computer want to run slow and want to act brand new. Family, while we waiting for this to pop up, I'm gonna give me a second. Listen to some of this nice music. I'm trying to get this. Dang, man, really? Or I might just have to bring up the article itself. I apologize for this disruption, family. You know how technology works sometimes, man. It want to act up sometimes and act stupid. Great, you know, it was fine before, but hold on. I'm gonna just have to bring up the article again. Give me some second to type this in, family. Give me a second, family. Man, okay. This is frustrating. This shouldn't happen. This isn't the article that I wanted to bring up, I don't believe, but I want to be able to show, once again, I want to show you I'm not lying and show you evidence of things. So I'm going to just use this one for now. Man, give it a second, fam. These news sites got all types of pop-ups and stuff, so. Okay, I need to go ahead and, oh, come on now. Okay, my screen, okay, bet. Stuff is acting up, family. Give me a second. I apologize. Oh, man. I apologize, family. Hold on, let me not do that. You can fast forward this part, I guess, in the future. I apologize, family. I truly apologize. This is very unprofessional. Okay, it's starting to internet running real slow right now because the Manicam I use to record these videos, family, it causes the computer to slow down. It really does. It's annoying and it causes issues. So hopefully as we go through, this doesn't become an issue, because I want to be able to show this stuff to you guys. No, we gonna wait. We gonna wait for the pay. Okay. So. Okay, I got a little bit. Okay, so what happened to the sunken city of Cuba? Just over a decade ago, a team of explorers were working on an exploration and survey mission off the western coast of Cuba when their sonar equipment picked up a perplexing series of stone structures lying some 650 meters below the surface. The structures appeared completely analogous against the barren desert of the ocean floor and seemed to show symmetrically organized stones reminiscent of an urban development. A media flurry soon ensued, with news sites sporting headlines such as Atlantis discovered in Cuba and Lost City of the Caribbean found. However, the findings also attracted the attention of the government, National Museum, and National Geographic, who all made promises to investigate the strange sonar images. Now 10 years on, the story has disappeared into obscurity. Whatever happened to the sunken ruins of Cuba? Were they ever fully investigated? And why has the media fallen silent on this unusual discovery? Seriously? Yeah, really? Why have they, right? What did they find? Are they looking for the keys? Remember how we spoke that maybe the keys are the actual temples themselves? Why would they not tell us? The discovery was first made in 2001 when Pauline Zalitsky, a marine engineer, and her husband, Paul Winswig, owners of a Canadian company called Advanced Digital Communications, were working on a survey mission in conjunction with the Cuban government off the tip of the Guanahacabes Peninsula in the Pinar del Rio province of Cuba. ADC was one of the 4 firms working in a joint venture with President Fidel Castro's government to explore Cuban waters, which hold hundreds of treasure-laden ships from the Spanish colonial era. The team was using advanced sonar equipment to scan a 2 square kilometer area of the sea floor when they noticed a series of symmetrical and geometric stone structures resembling an urban complex. Let me step my reading game up, family. My bad. Here's another picture of it right here on the site. A map showing location of supposed ancient city discovered by Paul Winswig and Pauline Zalitsky. Upon studying the sonar images, Zalitsky observed what appeared to be unusual formations of smooth blocks, crests, and geometric shapes. Some of the blocks looked like they were built in pyramid shapes, others were circular. In July 2001, they returned to the site with geologist Manuel Utraud, senior researcher of Cuba's Natural History Museum, this time equipped with a remotely operated vehicle to examine and film the structures. The images revealed large blocks of stone resembling hewn granite, measuring about 8 feet by 10 feet. Some blocks appeared deliberately stacked atop one another. Others appeared isolated from the rest. Zalitsky said that the images appeared to reflect the ruins of a submerged city, but was reluctant to draw any conclusions without further evidence. These are extremely peculiar structures, and they have captured our imagination, said Etrud, who has studied countless underwater formations, but if I had to explain this geologically, I would have a hard time, estimating that it would have taken 50,000 years for such structures to have sunk into the depth at which they were said to be found. E. Truald added 50,000 years ago, there wasn't the architectural capacity in any of the cultures we know to build complex buildings. A specialist in underwater archaeology at Florida State University added it would be cool if they were right, but it would be real advanced for anything we would see in the New World for that time frame. The structures are out of time and out of place. Says who? Says you? Okay. Anyway, so alright, so we read enough on that. Let me pull this back up to see. Since they didn't work, we read, okay, I guess that was the same website. But anyway, so now, oh man, come on. Okay. So now we're gonna move on to another, family. This picture right here, remember, I hope you guys can tell from the screen, because I said some of these pictures for some reason just wanted to mess up. This is supposed to be off the coast of, they found a pyramid off the coast of Portugal. Somebody was, there's a man, a fisherman, doing his business in the sea, in the Atlantic, off the coast of Portugal, in their Azore Islands, and he found a pyramid on his sonar. And you can see it says Portugal right here. The picture was clear when I did it, when I was putting this together, but you know, computers want to act dumb right now. So, matter of fact, hold on, family. Let me see if I can actually. Hold on, I want to try something real quick. I'm gonna just exit out of that, and I'm gonna exit out of this, and maybe. Give me a second, family. Maybe I hope I should. Dang, I just thought about it. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that, family. I should have not exit out of my dang it. Why did I do that, family? Why did I do that? Now I'm gonna have to I'm probably just gonna have to pause the video and reset everything up. I don't want to do this right now, but let's see how long it might take. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pause the video. I'm gonna have to stop the video, and this is gonna have to be 2 videos. Well, no, I know how to connect them together now, but I didn't want to do all that extra stuff, man. But since the computer wants to act up, yeah, let's go ahead and do that.